think of Dion?
Oh, you know I'm happy about that. Prime time, baby. You know I'm happy about that. Tell them, don't call me for NIL, though. I ain't paying nothing. I got no money for you. I'll be cheering, though.
Dame just, I don't know if he was supposed to say this or not, but he just told us that Gary did everything today in practice. How close is he? Where do you kind of see him as right now?
I mean, it was just good to have him out there, to be honest with you. How close or not, I'm not sure, but he looked pretty good. And you always got to wonder how he's going to feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he looked pretty good. We went for probably, 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes today, so that was cool. But it was just good to have his energy out there on the floor, you know. So we'll see, but obviously he's closer than he's ever been if he's practicing. So
is he still struggling all of the soreness you talked about a couple weeks ago that you guys were trying to overcome?
No, he's been better with that. But he's still, yes, sore. I think some of that is probably pretty normal, to get some of that. But I know that he's better than he was when we last talked about it. He's pushed through some of that stuff.
When he is actually cleared to play in games, is he going to be on any kind of minutes restriction?
Oh, of course. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you, but yes, of course. It's that type of time, and we don't really practice. We haven't had that many opportunities. So it's not like, he'll definitely be on some type of restriction.
Coach, Dame spoke about this kind of transition of teaching guys, teaching Ant over the years, teaching Shaden too. Do you recall those moments for yourself, kind of getting to that spot in your career playing career?
I recall both moments. The moments when I needed to be taught. I was a student. Having some older veterans teach me and help me, and because of that, I always promised that would be me giving back to the game like any needed that. I would be that. So I really remember all of those moments too of being able to teach. And, Dame is in a great position because he can do that and still he's good enough when he's in his prime where he can still show what he's telling you. As opposed to I got to a point where I was really old and wasn't as good as a player as I was anymore, so I could just kind of tell you, like I am right now as a coach. I can tell you what I see, I can't show you no more. So Dame's in the best position. He can tell you and he can show you, and it's actually fun to do.
Coach, obviously a lot goes into coaching, but is there something that you find yourself valuing more now that you are a coach compared to maybe when you were a player, like what you needed from a coach when you were a player, and now how you handle being a coach?
I think that's a great question. I think the biggest thing is what I always valued in coaches. It wasn't always fun, but I always valued it. It was just honesty, knowing where you stand at all times. And that's something that I always said that if I became a coach, which I have, that I would owe that to my guys. To be honest, it's not always fun. Even on my side, it's not always fun having to share those type of things with guys. And I know it's not fun to hear sometimes, but I think they respect it a lot more. And I haven't wavered from that.
Can you give maybe an example in broad strokes of how and when you've been honest with Ant?
Ant?
Yeah.
I think with Ant, and our thing is our relationship has been great the entire time. I think one example with Ant would be me sitting down showing Ant, tape on defensively where he gets lost at times, and he's saying, you're not a low minute guy anymore. You're gonna play 35, 34, whatever minutes. You can't be that guy. We need you. I need to be able to trust you in those positions. If not, offense, defense, I got to take you out of the game, man. I don't want to have to do that, but I will. And it's happened, you know. So it is what it is.
So going back to my original question, when you were a player, what did you value out of a coach besides honesty? Because we hear a lot of guys in today's game, like I think Kyrie and KD said, Steve Nash is just going to roll the ball. I think a lot of players kind of, we know the game. What are we going to get out of a coach? What did you need out of a coach when you were a player?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is even great players and these NBA players that they've made it, that they actually need some coaching. Like they need to be taught a lot of things, even if they've reached a level of success that, for instance, even with Dame has reached and accomplished more than I even accomplished. But there's so many things that Dame doesn't know still that I feel responsible to teach him, basketball-wise. And the biggest thing is I love that he loves to be coached. So like most coaches, a lot of coaches, I would say, maybe not most, but a lot of coaches, once a guy's reached a certain level of success and all the accolades, they feel like, all right, let me just coach everybody else. He's fine because he's getting it done. I don't feel that way. If I see something or somebody that needs help, no matter if it's Dame or it's Jonathan Butler Jr., like I'm going to help in any ways, and I don't care about what you've done. You know what I'm saying? It's what I'm responsible for doing.
That's kind of something Popovich had talked about, where if he's going as hard at Tim Duncan as he's going at anybody else, then anybody else on the team can't really say anything when he says something.
Yeah, and it's so true. I mean, Larry Brown was my toughest coach. He felt that way. He coached that way. He coached me extremely hard, and I was willing to be coached because I needed it. I wanted to be better. So I've just I want to try to share my values and bring my values, what I think as a person, as a player, to our team. And I'm going to continue to do that no matter what, if we win or lose.
In that regard, how hard did you coach today to try to fix some of the things that were going on?
I coached really hard today, actually. Yeah, we had an edgy day, and again, that's coming off of 2 really good wins for us and coming out of a really tough stretch for us. But when you have those type of stretches, you have slippage on both ends of the floor. And no matter if you win or loss, like you still have to coach what's going on. And we had to get back to some of the things that were really important to us. Our transition defense, our pick and roll defense, us shrinking the floor, us attacking the rim and the paint, and things that we talked about first day of training camp. We have to rewind the tapes on some of those things today. And I like those type of days though, stopping, blowing the whistle, start it over, do it again, not good enough, not enough pressure. It is what it is. When I seen this stretch in the schedule, I was like, it's perfect, we'll get some practice time.
When you guys were doing well on defense, then it looked like, oh my gosh, top 10 defense. Did you know in the back of your mind that there would probably be a regression at some point and you have to be prepared to fix, or did you think it was fixed?
No. I knew that we were working on it, but you also have to take into account injuries, certain guys won't play, like for instance, even our transition offense has been a little different. Well, it's going to be different if Josh Hart's not playing. He's the guy that gives you that push. He gets the rebound, he's pushing. So some of the numbers are skewed based on personnel, and I understand that, I know that, but at the end of the day, it's just a mentality thing that we have to just continue getting back to.
And then how much of it also is other teams adjusting to what they've seen you guys do when you were successful on defense? How much
Sure, that's a big deal. I mean, other teams making adjustments, other teams knowing how we play, in our zone, in our man, in our switching defense, in our small lineups, teams we're not surprising anybody anymore. So that's obviously a part of it as well.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Right.
Thanks for your hand up.